You ready?
Yeah. Welcome back.
Welcome back to another episode of Plant-Based Dads. I'm Joey.
I'm Tim.
Alright, so we are kind of a plant-based, whole foods, family show. We do the Starch Solution, which is what I'm on. We do some DIY stuff. There's some baking with Tim at times, right? If you like what you hear so far, please hit that like button, show us some love, and think about subscribing and become part of the Plant-Based Dads family. Alright, so what are we working on today?
Well, okay, you told me that you found the solution to fixing the tofu mayonnaise of the Starch Solution, and that it's been so bad.
So here's the deal. Inside the Facebook group, which by the way, if you're not part of the Facebook group, here's a picture of the Facebook group right here. Plant-Based Dads, Starch Solution Enthusiast. There's a bunch of us there all doing the Starch Solution. Alright, so the Starch Solution is a diet where you eat high carb, low fat, and you lose weight. It's worked for me. I've lost 25 pounds on it. There's recipes in the book, right?
Okay.
And on page 200, I can't read it, 242 because I don't have my reading glasses on, there's a recipe for tofu mayo, right? So months ago when we started this, we started with tofu from the refrigerated section like everyone else and made the mayonnaise. And we would taste it and we were like, this mayonnaise is horrible, right?
This is the one we've always gone to because it's organic. It's in the refrigerated section. It seems fresh.
Whether it's firm or whatever, we tried all different ones, right?
We tried Silken, which is a Silken Tofu.
Right. The recipe calls for Silken Tofu, right? So we've tried Silken because there's a Silken version of this. We tried this.
Yeah.
It all tasted the same. It all tasted like raw tofu. Not only is it the mayo, it's also the basis of many of the salad dressings in the book, right? They'll be like, Thousand Island, start with the tofu mayonnaise dressing, which is horrible, right?
Well,
and throw in a few things, and it like doesn't taste any better.
Yeah, it's a flavor we couldn't mask with sugar or anything, that we tried. So.
You always tasted kind of the raw tofu. Now, if you're cooking tofu scramble, right? This is the tofu, right? If you're making tofu nuggets in the air fryer, if you're cooking the tofu, definitely get this, right? We buy lots of this.
Yeah.
But the secret to having tofu mayonnaise that doesn't taste like raw tofu is this tofu right here, right? It's not refrigerated, it's in the aisle, and it's in the Asian food aisle at Sprouts anyway, right? So the brand is Mori Nu. Now it's all Silken Tofu, but they have different colors. They have this box, they have a blue box that's extra firm, whatever, but they're all Silken Tofu, right? The deal with this is, this package is 12.3 ounces, right? Okay. The package, the other one, this one here, is 15 ounces or 16 ounces, right?
16 ounces,
16 ounces. Now, in the book, the Starch Solution, on page 242, or whatever it is, right? It says to use one package of 12.3 ounces of tofu. So when I saw this in the aisle at Sprouts, I was like...
Light bulbs went off?
Light bulbs went off. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the tofu he's talking about. Like, does anybody even know this? Right? So I think when Dr. McDougall was making this recipe, he was using these boxed tofus, right?
Yeah.
And so we did it. We made the recipe using the boxed tofu. And all of a sudden, right, it was amazing. This tofu doesn't taste the same as the other tofu. There's no raw tofu taste. After you made the mayonnaise, you're not tasting it going, this tastes like raw tofu, right? Yeah. You're not trying to mask that taste. You don't have to do any of that with this. If you just make the mayonnaise recipe from this tofu, it tastes fine. For almost a year, we have not had chickpea salad, right? Because I absolutely love chickpea salad, right? But when we made it with with this tofu mayo, you couldn't get this taste out of the chickpea salad. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make tofu mayo with this tofu, right? And then we're going to make our chickpea salad recipe. All right, so let's get started. Let's break out the tools and we'll start making this, right?
Yep.
Start making the tofu mayonnaise. Let's get to it.
That's great.
All right, so I'm going to switch to my reading glasses here so I can read right out of the book. We're going to make the recipe right out of the book here. Right out of the Starch Solution.
I'll be your sous chef?
Yes. Now, you don't need to have the book. We're going to do it for you. Plus, all of these recipes are online. If you don't have the book, they're online. The first thing we're doing is opening up a package of 12.3 ounces of Silken Tofu, which is right here. So we're going to open this
that's
first.
The same.
The exact size right there of that package.
It's the same.
Again, we're using this boxed tofu right here. All right? That has a different flavor. It doesn't have that horrible tofu aftertaste when you don't cook it, okay? So you're using this tofu right here.
This box probably none of us have used before. So am I cutting and draining
Oh yeah, you have to drain this. Yeah, you have to strain it in a strainer. So let's do that first, okay?
Okay. So we opened the cardboard box over the sink, poured it in a strainer. There wasn't any pressing to do like we normally would on the other tofu. So just slice it up.
And let's drain the water out, and that's it.
Okay.
All right, so we're popping this right in our little mini Cuisinart food processor, right?
Into the mini. Okay.
All right, there you go. All right, so the next thing we're putting in is 1.5 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. All right, so see if you can, are you going to try and pour that in there without it spilling?
So we actually have a measuring spoon that's 1.5.
A little extra lemon's fine. All right, so the next ingredient is 1 teaspoon of granulated sugar. So I've got a teaspoon right here. Actually, this is a teaspoon. You just pour it in.
Is it?
All right, so there we go there. The next ingredient is a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So let's do 1/2 teaspoon of that. All right, so the next ingredient is 1/4 teaspoon of mustard powder. You want to grab a 1/4 teaspoon of that thing out of there?
Gotcha.
You know how you like to over pour. All right, so 1/4 teaspoon of mustard powder, and then the last ingredient is 1/8 teaspoon of ground white pepper.
Is there a really big taste difference with this pepper, do you know?
I don't know why we have white pepper. I think it's for this recipe because we made it so many times. Right. All right, it's supposed to be 1/8 of a teaspoon.
Oh,
That's two quarters. That's like a half.
it's going to be
It's
spicy.
gonna be really peppery, but okay. All right. So now all we're doing now is processing this until it's kind of creamy. So let's
Okay.
do that. All right. So let's go there. All right, so we've kind of mixed it up. It's ready to go. Now, even this mayonnaise with this tofu isn't going to be like Hellmann's or anything, right? It's just...
No, I just tried it with the lemon. It's
Yeah.
really good, actually.
Is it really? Let me see. With
I'm
all that
excited-
salt?
Yeah, I'm excited to use a little apple cider
Even
vinegar, plant milk, and some cucumbers. Like,
It is a little white peppery. Yeah.
yeah,
All right, so this is actually delightful, right?
it is.
So at
Amazing.
At this point, had you used this, you would be tasting this going, this is horrible. That was the problem we were having.
Well-
So again, this tofu right here. And you can use the blue box, the orange box, whatever box they have, right?
Yeah.
Because they're different ones, but they all have a much mellower flavor than this harsh tofu.
So we never would say this was horrible, but then you try this and you're like, oh my god, that was
Okay,
horrible.
I said it was horrible because it absolutely was. All right, guys. So the mayonnaise is pretty good the way it is. We're going to use this to make some chickpea salad,
Yes,
right?
yes.
All right. So let's get started on that.
All right.
So we're making this out of one of my favorite cookbooks, Vegan for Everybody, by America's Test Kitchen. I'll put a link down below for this recipe book. It is amazing. It's not a Starch Solution book, right? There's a lot of stuff with oil and all that. This recipe is absolutely Starch Solution compatible if you switch the mayo for the tofu mayo, which is what we're going to do. So I'm going to make it right out of this book. All right, so the first step is we're going to take 2 15-ounce cans of chickpeas. We've made our own in the Instapot, so we're going to use 30 ounces of Instapotted chickpeas,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
All right, so the recipe says to process 3/4 of a cup of these chickpeas. So we need to get a 3/4 a cup
I
measurement.
think we decided, can we?
Okay,
This is not my recipe. Joey usually preps meal preps.
why don't
this,
I
so-
do it? I'm not good with not measuring. I follow the rules. Tim's a rule breaker. I'm not a rule breaker. So one of these and then a half of those. I mean, you can use 2 of those. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to put 3/4 of a cup of chickpeas in there. All right. So then we're going to put in half a cup of vegan mayo, according to the book. We're using the tofu mayo we just made. All right. So if you make that swap, you want to take this?
Sure.
If you make that swap, then it is Starch Solution compatible. That's the only thing in this recipe that normally wouldn't be Starch Solution compatible is the vegan mayo, right? All right. So next we're putting the water, the lemon juice, and the 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So we've got 1/4 cup of water. If you want to throw that in there. And then the lemon juice is 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. So I've got a lemon that's somewhat melted here. You can get a tablespoon. Well, just throw the whole thing in. I think it's fine. That's a 1.5 tablespoon measure. So we juice. Our friends of ours always give us lemons, Dee and Chan. And we shout out, and we always juice them all. We freeze them, and we have them all year as lemon cubes. So our lemons are always frozen. All right, so that's in there, and then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So let's put 1/2 teaspoon of salt in there, and this is just going to make the. Still not measuring.
Sorry.
I can't. Okay, yeah. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So this is going to make the dressing. All right, that's all this is making. All right, that it's all mixed with.
Okay.
All right, so let's put that on. All right, so I think that's probably good enough. Let's give this a shot and see what it looks like.
It's just not the Vitamix blender, you know what I mean? It's kind of slow-mo.
Yeah, this doesn't really work well in the Vitamix blender. You really have to put a food processor, yeah.
I'm glad I brought it up, guys.
Yeah. Right. All right, let's look at this. All right, guys, so as you can see here, it's nice and creamy, and I mean, it looks like a dressing, right? It's all combined and blended, right?
Yeah, we're going to be blending more, right?
Oh, here's what we're going to do. Now we're going to throw in the ingredients, right? And just kind of get them pulsed, because in a chickpea salad, you want the chickpeas to kind of be broken, but you still want them to be, it's taking the place of like an egg or tuna, right? Yeah. So you still want the chunks, right? All right, so next we're adding the remaining chickpeas in, so let's throw those in there.
Okay. Are we using black salt too then?
You can use black salt in this. Black salt gives it that eggy flavor. I never liked that flavor with the egg, so I don't put that in there. But you can absolutely do that, right? Okay. All right. Were we jumping ahead?
There's an order, right?
Okay, yeah, there's an order, right? Let's give me that back. All right, let's pulse this.
Oh.
All right.
Worth.
Yeah.
I got it. Let me handle this first.
All right, guys, you can see here we're kind of stirring it around. It's ready to go. There's a lot of mushiness. There's still chunks of the chickpeas. So this kind of looks exactly the way it's supposed to, right? Are you not convinced?
I only see the finished product. So
this is the way it's supposed to look. All right, so next,
you need a large bowl?
We're going to combine everything in a large bowl, yes. All right, so now we have our mixing bowl. So dump this in, okay. And then we're going to start adding the good stuff. Remember, you got the knife part in there still, too. I'm not good being a side passenger. I'm usually the one that has to drive with this stuff. All right, so we have a nice big bowl here. Now we're going to start adding the rest of the stuff. So next we're putting in 2 celery ribs. I mean, we had like 4 celery ribs left. What were we going to do with the other 2? So we just chopped them all up. I mean, that's silly. A third of a cup of dill pickles, finely chopped. I'm not a huge fan of dill pickles, but without this, it doesn't taste right. So you kind of really need them in there, right? Next, we're going to put in 2 scallions, sliced thin. Now, hang on, before you dump them all in, dump some in and see if it's too many, because that's a lot more than 2. I just didn't know what to do with the other 3 that were left, so how many do you have left? Just throw it all in.
All right, we'll save this for top.
Do you want to do that? So for
pictures.
Right. And then we're putting in 2 tablespoons of fresh minced parsley. All right.
We were just talking about how good cilantro, parsley,
the benefits of parsley in your health.
Basil,
yes.
It really is good in so many ways. The antioxidant.
We're going to mix all this up.
Okay.
All right. So at this point, it's ready to eat. I like to have this on a sandwich because you make really good sourdough bread, right? And we happen to have a fresh baked loaf right here that I think we should slice up.
Okay.
Right? And let's just like make one slice and maybe split it.
Have an open sandwich?
Yeah, I think that'd be good. I like to have it as an open face sandwich.
All right, so anything else need to go in the salad, like maple syrup or anything?
Salad's ready.
Okay.
All right, so let's cut up some of this bread. All right, so we've got a piece right here. Let's cut this and give this a shot and see what this tastes like.
I usually put a little bit more mayo on.
Okay, well, this extra mayo you can put on. All right, guys, you can see right here that it's ready to go. It looks good. You want a little bit extra mayo, right?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good? You're okay? Yeah. All right, let's give this a shot. I know this is good because we make this every week and it's absolutely delicious. It doesn't taste too peppery, so that's nice.
Yeah, we're going to put the mayo. I like that we've got some extra crunch. So I think the extra celery scallions is nice.
It's really good.
You almost don't need extra mayo with this because the bread is moist. Like,
yeah, I don't put mayonnaise on sandwiches with mayonnaise-based items. That's just extra mayonnaise. I know. You were growing up where throw that Miracle Whip on top of that, right? Not me. That's a Minnesota thing, I think. All right, so a successful chickpea salad sandwich, right? Out of one of our favorite books, America's Test Kitchen, Vegan for Everybody. Pick up that book. There'll be a link below. What do you think of it?
Oh, I think it's great. I mean, we ate this all last week, and
I was never been happier in my life than when we found this and the mayonnaise tasted good again, right?
The possibilities.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys, that's our video for today. Please hit the like button. Show us some love. What's not to like? We got chickpea salad. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. Become part of the Plant-Based Dads family. You get notified every time we have a new video, which is usually every Monday. And please leave a comment below. What are your thoughts on chickpea salad? Did you know about this mayonnaise trick, or is this your first time learning it? Have you made like tofu mayonnaise out of this tofu and we're like, that's not happening? Like, tell me your experiences with the whole tofu mayo, right? All right, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.